Hi, this is János, Rivered Audio, and I'm continuing about my room, about presenting my system. And as you see, I have talked before about my listening position, and all of these seats are perfectly enjoyable to listen to music, plus the entirety of the floor. Uh, and sometimes I listen from the kitchen and or upstairs, and from everywhere it just sounds fantastic. But what I haven't mentioned is, as you see, I do not have a special room treatments, but what I have is I have functional room treatments. And as you see, the record racks, there's more over there, but I'm not showing that. That would need some more cleanup to show that part of the living room. So now I'm just showing up to here. As you see, there are records covering the wall, so these break up the hard reflections, and you can do that with acoustic panels, but mm, that's not so natural. That it's going to add its own personality to the sound, create an artificial feel. And when you have books or records, they do a much better and much more natural job of creating the right acoustics than an artificially designed panel, because those panels do work for specific frequencies, specific effects, and they do something that is not there in any normal home that you grew up with. But when you grew up with, every home, or preferably many homes, had bookshelves or shelves with records, right? Or shelves with CDs. And this is something natural, something we already grew up with, that our ears accept as natural. So that's why I really use this sort of material as to help with the room acoustics. And other than that, one more important consideration is the space that's in front of the listening position between the stereo and you. It should be perfectly clear of obstacles. And as you see, for your pleasure, I have placed there a few things like that exercise ball, a little chair, and there's that little coffee table here with the computer, so that we can just pull here and Nelly can just work on her computer and do some late night work from the chair, while she can listen to music or watch a movie while working. So that's the whole point, to make it a comfy experience. And also it's a removable coffee table, so when we are doing serious music listening, then I can just put it on the side, get rid of it, clear everything from here, and then listen like that. Because it is, you will notice that if you have anything in front of you between the speakers, it's going to impact quite noticeably on the sound. So when OCD Mikey posted a video to get rid of that coffee table, he was serious, and I do endorse him 100%. Get rid of that coffee table at all costs. And for example, I also have I don't have a coffee table, I have a Dungeons and Dragons, a D&D table, and I keep it on the side, and then we can pull it in and paste it here. But for most of the time, for music listening, it's on the side. But even there, it does harm. It impacts the deep bass, the infrasonic bass, substantially. So if it's not there, the infrasound is quite a bit noticeably better compared to it being there in the room and breaking up those very long waves. So that's something very important and very vital. Just try to keep everything in front of you clean, so that there's no obstacles where the sound can just reverberate and bounce around. So this is just this short video because that's all the message I want to get across. Oh, and one more, as you see behind the system, I have also more records on both sides, and I have the stereo system between those racks, and I have this part open because that's where the movie screen can come down, and if that gives me a little bit better perspective, and it also creates like a horn like opening for the sound stage in front of me. So this is more like a layout that you have in an actual opera or a theater, not a movie theater, but an actual stage theater, that you have a stage there and then it opens up for the audience. And that's not just for practical purposes, but that's also for sound purposes, so that the sound of the orchestra, when the orchestra is right there, it can spread out and project to the sides. And if you have smaller speakers like big floor standers like those Mirages are, then that's the optimal spot for them. If you have bookshelves, they would be right here, and their sound just projects out. For those big guys, they can be that far away, and they just project an immense sound stage. Like that, they can project a full symphonic orchestra that's like literally like occupies half of my room there. And it's really comparable experience to listening to a real orchestra with the sensation of life size players playing on life size instruments, instead of the Muppet Show or miniature ants playing on tiny cardboard mm, and teeny instruments. So anyway, I can recommend for everyone to have this type of layout where you have your equipment gear in the recess there, so that it does not break up the sound waves between the loudspeakers, because that's also a big interference. If you have anything between the two speakers, it's a huge no-no. Try to avoid it if you can. It will improve imaging tremendously. And if you cannot, and it's not practical to not have it here, then just try to resense them. And this is a very excellent way to do it. And also, you avoid hard reflections from behind the loudspeaker with the record racks behind the loudspeaker. That just softens up the sound, and you get a better quality sound stage this way. And thank you for tuning in. This was János, Real World Audio. And I think now I'm concluding my exploration of my room. So thank you for tuning in, and we will continue the exploration of my system by focusing on the system itself. So please like and subscribe. Have an awesome, wonderful day, and listen to more music. Bye bye.